Welcome viewers, Dr. Jason W. Morrison, Theologist, New South Wales, Australia. We are doing Watchtower Study Edition, November 2019. It's New Year's Eve. We're up to the heart-to-heart communication. A very strange article this, and I'll show you the reasons why. Paragraph 8. We might find it difficult to open up to others because someone might have hurt us in the past. And that's a very, very good reason not to open up to others. If someone's hurt you in the past, then that's a very, very good reason to be very careful about who you're going to share your important parts of yourself with. You've got to protect your privacy. Now, this is trying to undermine to a certain extent your ability to be very careful about who you speak to. And what this is actually doing is it's provoking backbiting and gossip and all this other stuff, because if people know too much, this is where all the slander and other things come from. Or we may feel that we lack the time and energy to cultivate close relationships. Well, the fact of the matter is that could be the truth. You can't be everything to everyone. However, we should not give up. Give up what? Just have a normal, structured life. If we want our brothers to stand by us when trials come, now this is conditional. This is a conditional statement. If we want our brothers to stand by us when trials come, we must learn to trust them now with our thoughts and feelings. I don't agree with that statement. I'm sorry. No. Trusting people with your thoughts and feelings is a very exclusive privilege for someone to have. You've got to be very careful, as it said here, who you share your thoughts and feelings with, because you'll be betrayed, you'll be undermined. It gives people, as a matter of fact, if you're not careful, it empowers people to undermine you. And that is an important step toward becoming true friends. No, it's not necessarily. If you're on a soccer team with someone, you don't get there spewing out all your thoughts and feelings about everything. The proverb says a couple of times that even a fool's counted wise if he holds his tongue. What's this say? Now, that you have purified yourselves by your obedience to the truth, that's the finished work of the Lord Jesus Christ, knowing that all your issues between yourself and God have been resolved for time and eternity, never to be worried about again, with unhypocritical brotherly affection. You've got to be careful what this sort of affection is suggesting and how it's interpreted. Unhypocritical brotherly respect might be a better word. As a result, love one another intensely from the heart. You've got to get this in its right perspective. There's 4 types of love. There's love toward God. There's your family love. There's friends love. And then there's another love. I forget what it is. Storge, Philios, Agape. And there was another one. I can't think of it offhand, but you've got love for God, love for people, family love, and then I think it's parental love, or one of those. But you've got to keep it in its right perspective. You can't just spew your thoughts and feelings out to everyone, because you're going to exhaust yourself and come undone. Jesus showed that he trusted his friends by communicating openly with them. No, Jesus, remember, he would choose James, Peter, and John to privately come with him at certain instances, didn't he? And might I just say, I no longer call you slaves, Jehovah Witnesses, Jesus said, because the slave does not know what his master does. But I have called you friends. Did you know you're the friend of God through the Lord Jesus Christ? Because I've made known to you all the things that I've heard from my Father who is Jehovah. Did you know you're God's friend? You don't owe him anything. You're his friend. If we can imitate him by sharing our joys, concerns and disappointments with others. Listen carefully as someone talks to you, and you may learn that you have many thoughts, feelings, and goals in common. Consider the example of Cindy, a sister in her 20s. She befriended a pioneer in her 60s named Mary Louise. Cindy and Mary Louise work together in field service every Thursday morning, and they talk freely with each other about a variety of subjects. I'm sure they do, and a lot of it would be whinging and backbiting prettied up. Cindy says, I enjoy having deep conversations with friends because this helps me to know and understand them better, and probably yourself. Friendships thrive in warm atmosphere of open communication. That's true, as long as it's constructive. Like Cindy, if you take the initiative to have warm and open conversations with others, your friendships with them are likely to grow. And Proverbs 27:9 says, oil and incense make the heart rejoice, so do sweet friendships springing from sincere counsel. And notice the sincere counsel. You can't just throw out and spew out your thoughts and feelings to everyone, because you will at some stage get hurt. You will get hurt, as you did in the past. So there's a certain amount of wisdom connected to this. We'll watch some videos now.
Hi everyone. Not done a video for a little while, so I feel a bit like a newbie all over again. So bear with me. I've had a couple of nudges from people saying to me, where you at? You know, what you doing? Get back on it. So just to reassure you, I have not stopped with my activism. The carts don't come out in Brandon anymore, so I do keep patrolling. I'm still doing my leaflet drops, but yeah, I haven't really had anything interesting to show you. So yeah, that's why you've not seen me. But also, I recently started a new job, and my little boy was quite poorly for a couple of weeks. We've had a few things going on in the family, so I've been quite tied up, busy at the moment. But I really wanted to make this video today because obviously this morning is the morning after the night before. What happened last night? Well, it was the Leah Remini special on Jehovah's Witnesses, and it was brilliant. It was really, really good. So we saw different representatives of the XJW community tell their stories, and they came across so well. It was a lot of the time it was heart-wrenching, but very, very informative for anybody that may be wondering about Jehovah's Witnesses, for anybody who may be studying, and also for the witnesses that are inside, that they kind of know something's wrong. This was very educational for anybody interested in knowing the other side of what Jehovah's Witnesses actually tell you. So yeah, so I really enjoyed it. Now, one of the issues that I picked up on that was mentioned in the program was the issue of suicide, and not only amongst XJWs but also Jehovah's Witnesses themselves. Now, I was in Watchtower for 25 years. I disassociated this year in March, and to be honest with you, for the majority of that time I had never heard of a Jehovah's Witness that had committed suicide, until I think it was about 5 years ago. An elder in our neighbouring congregation flew abroad and killed himself, and this was it was devastating. Not that I knew the brother very well. I knew him to say hello to, but we weren't close or anything. But just such a blow to all of the local congregations, because an elder who was serving, apparently nobody had any inkling that he had any problems with depression or that there was anything wrong. He had a wife, and yeah, he just flew abroad and committed suicide, and we were all quite shell-shocked by it. And I had never heard of anybody commit suicide who was a Jehovah's Witness, and I certainly wasn't in touch with anybody in the ex-JW community to know about what a huge issue it is amongst those ones as well. But not long after that, we did hear that actually he had a cousin who was also serving as an elder who had committed suicide. And everybody's mind was racing as to, why would this happen? How did nobody spot that he was so depressed, And the sad thing is that the kind of rumour or the general feeling that people were having was that he was hiding some kind of sin. And I fell into that pattern of thinking as well. And I'm ashamed of that now, because this is what Watchtower does to people. It portrays anybody who doesn't kind of represent Jehovah's organisation in the best light possible. For instance, those that are disfellowshipped, or those that disassociate themselves, or even those that sadly commit suicide, because it don't look good on the organisation, does it? They kind of put this thing across, that the culture is put across to think that these ones, either they are committing gross sins, or they want to be free to commit gross sins. And it's a terrible thing that people just feel that they automatically know what makes a person do something so drastic. And it just reminds me of this it's kind of, it's put across. I remember one morning worship Samuel Hurd was doing, and it was addressed to the older ones, that how can they be encouraging to younger ones in the congregations. And basically what he said was, tell them encouraging stories, tell them good stuff, tell them how you came in the truth. He said, and if you can't be bothered, just sit there and look happy. So this facade of looking happy is all that matters with Jehovah's people. It's like when the convention time is coming up, and we give out we used to give out the invitations, or that it'd be on the website about it. It would say, you'll see, thousands, you'd see throngs of happy Jehovah's Witnesses, well dressed, turning up for their convention. What a happy bunch they are, that sort of thing. And on the surface, that is exactly what it looks like. But why does it look like that? It's because you're told what to wear, you're told what to talk about, you're told how to look, wear this kingdom smile, don't tear people down with your speech, be upbuilding at all times. Basically, don't be real. Don't be real. Don't be true to yourself. Don't be a real person. Be, basically, as Free Monique would say, a mannequin for Watchtower. And I can see now why this is the cause of so much depression and suicide, inside and out of Watchtower. And I knew loads and loads of brothers and sisters that were depressed. Personally, I never really suffered with depression, but I would say that the majority of my friends in Watchtower had either suffered from depression, had a nervous breakdown, or they had habits like heavy drinking. They had habits like that would kind of numb them to how they really felt. And there was loads of that going on in the organisation. And we kind of put it down to the fact that we weren't built to cope with the problems of life that we've got. There might be an element of truth in that, but definitely what helps a person when they are depressed or when they are suicidal is having somebody to talk to and to offload on and to lean on. But in Watchtower, you're encouraged to not say anything, to dumb it down, you know, just get out, do more in the ministry, do more for other brothers and sisters, and not show what's really going on with you. So I can see why this is a rising problem amongst Jehovah's Witnesses, this issue of suicide, but also in the XJW community. It's bad enough that you're silenced when you're inside Watchtower, but when you're put out of Watchtower or you choose to leave Watchtower, you really don't have a voice, because no one will give you the time of day. No one will think to themselves, I wonder why you're not coming back, or I wonder why you left. No one will think that. They will just presume that you want to engage in gross sin, and or you will let you will put yourself in a situation where your whole family will cut you off just so that you can celebrate your birthday. Like, it's ridiculous thinking. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm really hoping that lots of people get to watch the Leah Remini special on Jehovah's Witnesses, because she's not an apostate of Jehovah's Witnesses, and this program was aired on TV, so no one would have to go and tap anything into YouTube or into the internet to find out about it. It was on TV. I really hope lots of Jehovah's Witnesses watched it. And another great thing is that it showed clips of the Australian Royal Commission on there. So for those witnesses that have heard of it but they've not dared to click on YouTube to see any of the streaming that was put out from the Australian Royal Commission, the clips that were showed on the Leah Remini show, it was really informative, really good, and I hope that any Jehovah's Witnesses that saw that will be moved now to actually investigate the Australian Royal Commission. I've got to say, I don't know if it's just because I've recently joined this community that I've seen, you know, so much out there about exposing Watchtower, or if it's that I've come out at the right time. I don't know, because obviously people that come out years ago, they didn't have information available, they didn't have support networks, they basically had to fend for themselves, make their own way. But I've come out at a time when it seems like there's so much exposure. Every day I switch on YouTube, there seems to be somebody new making a video about why they left Jehovah's Witnesses. So it's a really good time, and I hope everybody finds it really encouraging, the fact that there is so much exposure. We had that excellent film out this year, Apostasy. There's loads on the internet, and it's a good time. So yeah, I'll encourage you, if you haven't watched it yet, to try and access watching the Leah Remini program. And I send my love to everybody. I haven't given up in my activism. I've just been really busy lately, but I am still on it, and I wish you all well. Send my love to everybody, and have a lovely day. Take care. Bye.